y'all doing on this wonderful Wednesday, my good people? What's going on, y'all? Like, how are y'all doing on this wonderful Wednesday, which is August the 12th? Okay, like, y'all, I just want to say this, like, y'all girl is getting back into the swing of things, getting back into routine. Like, I am recording this at 12:20 a.m. Okay, so I can make sure that I can get this out by 6 a.m. to you guys and stuff like that. So I was just like, sis, you didn't record it all day. Let's record now. So, but nonetheless, what's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of Southern Therapy Podcast. I am your host, Danielle Bailey, the one, the only, the extraordinaire. Okay? So yeah, what's going on, you guys? How are y'all doing? Like, how is things going with you guys? Like, let's check in emotionally. Like, how are y'all doing? Like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it, semi okay? Like, let's just check in. For me, it's like semi okay, if you want to say. I am actually out. The reason why I'm recording so late is because I am actually out on vacation last week, and it's actually like a random thing, if you want to say. Last week, like, I got sick Wednesday. Okay, let me say that. Last Wednesday I got sick, and it's just, I want to say, take a break when you need to take a break. Like, and knowing your body. This whole pandemic thing has been, it's been a lot. And it's been a lot for everybody. And I want to say that it's been a lot for me, and I didn't even realize that, I really wasn't practicing self-care like I should have. Like, normally, okay, let me just say this. Normally, like, I try to go on vacation at least twice a year, right? I try to do one like up in probably like up in March or April, and then I try to get one around my birthday time, which is in September, October, and then I actually usually take about 3 actually. So March, April, take a few days off. Birthday time, I'm taking off about a week, and then I'm gonna turn around and take off some time at the end of the year too. So about 3 times a year, like, I'm going on some type of vacation. However, COVID decided to strike its ugly head in March. So, like, I did not have time, and I just did not schedule anything. Like, and my body was, like, really and truly starting to feel that. And so I got sick that Wednesday. And I'm talking about, oh my God, y'all, I had seen some people during the daytime. And so as I'm getting ready to gear up for my next appointment, it just, like, I just got sick all of a sudden. And I was just like, I can't. I had to lay down, like, literally lay down. And so that was Wednesday. I ended up having to reschedule all of my appointments. And so Wednesday, after that incident, I was like, oh no, ma'am. Like, next week you need to be off. And so Thursday came. I still was able to see clients, but I was having to lay down, like, in between clients, because I was just feeling nauseous, and that's what it was, like, real nauseous. And so Friday I had to attend some trainings, and so it's just that, like, mentally I have been drained, if you want to say. Working during the pandemic is quite a bit, and I know some of y'all are just like, then yeah, I work during the pandemic. I'm like, yeah, but for me, just understanding that, hey sis, you do need that time off, even though you're going to be at home. And I think that's what I kind of struggle with the most, with trying to take off time, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be at home, like, I ain't gonna be doing nothing. And so, I just realized I need some time off. And so Friday I attended my last 2 brain spotting training. Like, can I just say this? Shout out to brain spotting. That was an amazing training. And so with brain spotting, you had to demonstrate on your partner, like, the techniques that you learned. So in order for you to really be able to say that you're a brain spotter, you have to demonstrate. So like, you have to demonstrate on a therapist, and a therapist has to demonstrate on you. Yo, when I tell you that training was so freaking powerful, y'all, like, it was powerful. And I was just like, yo, this is what it's like. I was just, it was amazing. And so like, during this training, it like unearthed some things that I needed to that I just needed to work on and stuff like that. And so, like, after this training, I realized that I needed to go home and spend some time with my family. Like, again, COVID-19 is just like, it's like a silent monster. It's like it's just a silent monster that we don't know how to fight or anything. Like, and it's taking a toll on everybody. And so I just realized that I need to go home. I need to go and see my family and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do that. And so Sunday, shout out to Transformation Church, yo. I had ended up watching church on Sunday, and so I didn't know when I was going to go home. I said I was going to go home. When I realized I was going to go home and see my family on Saturday, I was like, oh, I'm going to go Sunday. Well, Sunday come, I'm just laying down, like, I ain't going to go home. And so, like, I listened to Transformation Church. And so, a guy named Robert, I can't remember his last name, but he's an African dude. He was preaching, and he talked about how his grandfather he talked about how he went through a depression phase, due to the pandemic. He was like, I'm used to preaching all over around the world, and now I'm stopped, I'm shut down. And so he talked about, how he went through a depression episode, and he went to, on Father's Day, he went to his grandfather's church or whatever. And he was like, my grandfather prophesied over me, my grandmother, prayed over me. He was like, this small church, he was just like, when you see me, you see them, you see the prayers of them. And so I'm laying up there like, yo, I need to go back home and visit my people. And the thing that really just popped up in the inside of me was y'all know how a lot of people talk about, I am my ancestors' wildest dream. And so I was just like, I don't even need to go back that far to ask, am I their wildest dream? I need to go and see, not only do I need to go home, but I need to go to the graveyard, and I need to go and see my people. Like, my people that I haven't necessarily, I think I went out to the graveyard last year. Yeah. But just to go and talk to them. Like, when he said that about his grandparents, and how, when you see them, you see me. And it just like, I needed to go and talk to my grandparents. I needed to just go and just be like, yo, this is what's going on. Like, are you guys proud? Like, and I remember in this brain spotting training, this lady, she talked about, she was from, where she was from? I want to say she was in Hawaii, and like, she had this whole thing going on, that they was working through. And so, she was just talking about her ancestors, and how she felt like her ancestors were around her, and like, it was just so powerful. And so I was just like, when he said that, I remember what she said, and I was just like, oh, I need to go to the graveyard. I need to go and, talk to my grandmother. Just talk to my aunt that's there. Yeah, she's my aunt. I have to remember, like, is she my aunt? But yeah, go and talk to her. Go and talk to my stepbrother who was murdered at such a young age. Just going to talk to them and ask them, like, yo, am I your wildest dream? Like, my grandmother died in 94. And so like, she's been gone for a long time. Like, did you ever imagine, like, your lineage will be doing stuff like this? Like, I don't have to necessarily go back. When you think about ancestors, you think about, like, slavery and all of that other kind of stuff. But I needed to check in with them. Like, these are the people that really and truly deposited in me when I was such a young girl. And I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing, isn't making you guys proud. like, and just talking to them and just letting them know that, hey, like, I miss you guys, like, I wish you guys was here and stuff, and just really having a conversation. And I know some of y'all might be like, what? But no, like, having a conversation with them. And so, I hopped up, like, right after transformation church is over, I hopped in the shower and got on the road and, like, drove like 2 hours to just go and be with them. And so it was hot too, y'all. It was hot in Louisiana heat. And so child, like, I done went there, and like on the side of my grandmother it's like a little place where you can sit, and it's on top of somebody else's grave. And I think his name, the person's name was Caleb. I was like, oh, excuse me, Caleb, but I need to sit on you real quick. And so, like, I just had a whole moment, like a whole moment. Like, I mean, just talking to them. I went from talking, I went to crying, letting them know how much I missed them, how much I wish that they were there, to asking them, to just give me strength, to just, like, really just letting them know, like, this is what's been going on in life. I know that y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all up there watching, but I just need to come tell y'all. I just needed to come visit y'all. I just needed to come and feel your presence, feel your energy. And, like, soon as I started saying, I just need to feel your presence, I just need to feel you guys' energy, like, the wind started blowing. And it was hot, okay? And so, like, the wind just started blowing, and, like, I was just like, okay. Like, I got it. Like, I feel y'all. Like, like, I know that y'all are listening or whatever. And I just say, I just want to make y'all proud. Like, any and everything that I do, I want to make y'all proud. I was like, what do y'all think about, like, what's going on in the family? Like, how are y'all looking at my cousins? And I'm like, could you believe that some of the stuff that they're doing? Can you believe that some of the stuff that I'm doing? Like, can you believe? So, I just stayed out there. I stayed out there for like 90 minutes. Like, I stayed at one of my grandparents. I stayed out there with them for like 30 minutes. Like, my grandmother, Georgia May, like, she was just like the heartbeat of the family. And I stayed with her and my Aunt Betty Mae. Like, I stayed right there in that spot for like 30 minutes because, like, when my stepbrother had first passed back in 2005, I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but when my stepbrother passed, when he was murdered in 2005, I could not get over what had happened to him. And so I would go out to the graveyard often. And when I say often, I mean often. I would go to work. I was working at Wendy's at the time. I would go to work some days, and then some days I would just go to the graveyard, and because it was just so hard. His death was so hard. And so I would go out there, and I would go by them first, and I would go out there often. And I mean, at least 1 to 2 times a week, just crying and just, just like, I can't believe this. He's gone. Y'all are gone. And so, so I would always go to them first. And so, like, I would spend the most time with them because, like, and when I mean them, it would be my grandmother and my, and her daughter, which is my great aunt. Yeah. Her and my great aunt, like, I would sit by them and I would just talk to them and I would just cry to them because, like, I was so close to my grandmother, whatever. And so, I would go over there and I just, like, when my stepbrother had first died, that was like in 2005. Like I said, I went out there like once or twice a week. And not knowing, my mom was going out there too as much because she said it was hard for her too. And me not knowing she going, I recently found that out like a couple of years ago, probably like a year or two ago. She told me, she had shared with me, she was like, I was just going out there, and I was like, me too, girl. And so one day I was out there and I was in my Wendy's uniform. I had just got off work. Either I had got off work or either I was going to work. And so this man was like, baby, I don't know what it is. Like, he was like from like, I want to say about like, he was from a distance, and he was just like, baby, it's going to be all right. And I guess he must have heard me crying, and he was just like, it's going to be all right. It was him and somebody else. He was like, you're going to make it through. You're going to pull through this. And like, I don't know what it was. I don't know who he was. But after that moment, like, I had stopped going out so much because like he was right. Like I was going to make it. And so this weekend I just needed to go out there and I just needed to talk to them. So talk to them, look for some of my other people that was out there. Went and talked to my stepbrother. Like it's been 15 years. He would have been 37 this year. How old I am? He's 2 years older than me. So yeah, he would have been 37 this year. So almost 40. Talked to him. Went and talked to my other grandmother, my dad's mom. Just need to have a whole session, y'all. And then after that, went and seen my mom and seen my brother and just like needed family time. You know, COVID had stolen so much from us to where it was just like, yo, I need it. I need this. Did not know how bad I needed it until I actually went out there, spent time with them, spent time with my mom and my brother and his kid. And so we decided to do like a family dinner this Thursday. So since I'm off and my brother is off, so we're going to do like a little family dinner on Thursday. And so, you know, just spending time with your loved ones and stuff like that. So I just want to encourage you guys, like, if y'all have not been to the, you know, graveyard anytime soon, go and talk to your people. And I know that some people may not be okay with that, but just, if there's somebody that you know that you are close with that has passed and went on, and you just go see them, just go talk to them, and you don't have to have no, I mean, like, you don't get to have no script or nothing, just letting them know, hey, this is what's going on, and just be in their presence or whatever. So that's that. I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I guess that's why I was sharing it, because it, like, COVID-19 has taken away so much from so many people, and just needing to make sure you know that when it's time for you to take a break, please by all means take a break and do some self-care. So this weekend my self-care was needing to go and talk to my family members and just being around my family members and stuff like that. So this week I have just been, what today is? So Monday I didn't do nothing. Tuesday I did nothing. Okay, when I say nothing, I mean nothing. So I did do something. I watched Michael Jordan's Last Dance, the series on Netflix. And so Monday I kind of watched a little bit of Kevin Hart's Don't F This Up series on Netflix. So I finished watching it because I had been started it or whatever. And so I finished watching like about 2 episodes on Monday. And on Tuesday, like, I woke up and I talked to my mom a little bit. And I was like, what I'm going to do today? Because, like, I really just wanted to sleep in. And so I just started watching. Like, I watched the whole documentary, like the whole 10 hours, okay? And I want to say this. Yo, Michael Jordan is like a beast. Like, I was just trying to gather, like, just looking at his life, looking at his work ethic, looking at his drive. I was just like, wow. And then looking at, you know, after I watched Michael Jordan, because I watched Michael Jordan well until the evening, thinking about what I had watched with Michael Jordan, then thinking about what I had watched with Kevin Hart. Like, their work ethic is like none other for their craft. And so I just started, like, just drawing inspiration from both of them. Like, how can I draw this inspiration that they had? How can I look at their work ethic? And how can I apply that to my life? And, you know, like, all of this other stuff that I need to just, you know, improve on. Really and truly. Like, I mean, these guys was, work ethic is on 1,000, 10,000, 20,000. Like, playing, like, Michael Jordan played while he had food poisoning, okay? And performed at a high level. Do y'all, baby? I got food poisoning. I ain't saying nobody. I ain't doing nothing. Okay, like yo, this man performed at a high level, and he was sick, and it's just so much like that. I had to do a reevaluation of my own life. Like you need to, sis. You gotta do better. And then when Michael Jordan's dad died, when he was murdered, that was another thing that, oh y'all, it made me cry when they had won that championship and it was on Father's Day. I don't know if that was his first Father's Day without his dad or what, but they had won the championship and it was on Father's Day. He was trying to keep it together, and so when he had got back to the locker room, like he just broke down and lost it. Child, while I'm laying in the bed crying too. I was just like, oh, just like, sis, get it together. But like, yo, I felt his pain, just having to perform. Excuse me, y'all. Having to perform at such a high level and you going through stuff yourself. Like your dad's died, but the game is here. So you got to play. You got to show up. And not only do you got to show up, you got to show up and be the world's greatest basketball player. And you're dying on the inside. Like you're hurt. You are hurt. And the media had, like, yo, when Michael Jordan's dad had died, like, the media had started throwing, like, speculations that it was related to Jordan's gambling problem. Like, how could you do that? Like, this man's dad was murdered. And then y'all have nerve to be like, oh, it was in connection to his gambling problem? Like, what? Are y'all serious? Add insult to injury, like... How, like, wow. And so for him to go through all of that and still perform, just like, it really got me to thinking about, like, my life, like, sis, like, what is it, like, it just got me to thinking about my life, like, sis, you got to step it up, I'm not saying that I need to be out here like MJ, but some of the things that I'm going through or that I need to do to push myself to go to the next level, like I need to make sure I execute it and stop, necessarily like, oh, whoa, it's me, or I can't do this. No, like you need to do it. You have to do it. And so it just gave me all types of motivation. And Kevin Hart's don't F this up too. Looking at his work ethics, like I inspire to have a work ethic and to have like dreams of like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is like he wants to be the first billionaire comedian. And so like just looking at his work ethics and looking at mine, your work ethic knows sis, what you gonna get is you just being 1,000 now. You barely 1,000 at that, maybe 100 there. Like my work ethic is not matching my what it is that I need and what it is that I want to do. And so and I'm not sure if it's just COVID. I have like up and down spells or whatever. And so when I'm up, and when I'm down, I am down. So learning how to manage those and making the best out of them. And I know a lot of y'all may be able to identify with them. Like you have a lot of up and down spells. You have a lot of spells where you're really and truly believing in yourself and where you're really and truly executing a lot of things that you need to execute. But then you have those spells where you just like, it'll get done or it may not get done. It'll get done or it may not get done. And it just gets so overwhelming or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And it's like, yo, Michael Jordan and Kevin Hart, like, they don't have choice. Well, I'm sorry, they did have choices, but they didn't allow their down moments to dominate them. they dominated their down moments. And I need to be able to dominate my down moments and stuff like that, instead of allowing my down moments to consume me. So that's kind of like, yo, what I got out of that. So yeah, I just want to share that with y'all. Like, if y'all have not watched The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan's Netflix documentary, or Don't F This Up by Kevin Hart on Netflix too, I highly encourage you guys to watch it. They both are good. Both of these young men, like, you can learn something from them. Michael Jordan, I will say I wanted to know a little bit more about his personal life, like his family and stuff like that, but he did not share any of that. I seen his children. I got a couple of, they showed like a couple of glimpses of his kids. I want to say his two oldest boys and his daughter. I don't know if he have any children outside his first marriage, but they showed them, and that was it. And they just asked them about, like, did you guys attend the Utah Jazz game and stuff like that, or do they remember anything about their father playing in the NBA or whatever. And I think the boys, like, they had they were older than their sister, so they have like vivid memories and stuff like that. But their sister was like, she doesn't remember much about it, but she can remember like the atmosphere and the feelings of the game, and how, like, they were so like so much energy and stuff like that. And I just, I want to know a little bit more about their personal life. Like, I can only imagine, how is it your dad being Michael Jordan? Like, how was it growing up with a athlete that statute, of that being away so much, Like, was he really? Because, like, I feel like at his statue, at the game that he was at, like, something had to suffer. You don't be as great as you were. You can't, in that, like, his balance. Like, did you put the game of basketball before your family? Or were you able to have those amazing moments with your kids? And I'm just like, which one sacrifice? Because I want to know, was he able to balance both of them? And do it well, to where his kids really and truly still like and love him today. Because, you see a lot of those famous people whose careers were at, like, everybody admired them, everybody worshiped them, they were everything to everybody, and they was trash to their own family, like, because they were gone, and I don't want to say trash, but, like, they just was not available, present there for their families. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. I'm not saying Michael was a trash dad, because they, like I said, they didn't say anything about his life as a father. But I can imagine you doing all that traveling, you doing all that work, you done miss games, you done miss talent shows, whatever it is that these kids were in, and that they wanted to have their father to be there. Like, you'd have missed some of that because you're on the road, because you're traveling, or either when you do come, you outshine them because of who you are. Michael Jordan's here. Like, at that time, Michael Jordan was an all-time favorite person. Like, he created mobs. People would follow him. So, like, I mean, I just wonder about, like, his children. I feel like that. I just feel like I want to know how were they able to deal with their father being Michael Jordan and the emotional distress that it caused with him being there and not being there at times. That's what I kind of want to know. But nonetheless, y'all, that's all I got for y'all on today. One takeaway that I want y'all to remember is get rest. Get rest. You guys are not Superman and Superwoman. We all need rest. And don't be afraid to just say, hey, I gotta close down. And that was one thing that I did not want to do this week, because I was just like, it's not playing my clients. And so it was just like, either you gonna take this time right now, or either your body is going to force you by shutting down. So I was just like, well, I'm in control a little bit. Let me go ahead and just schedule the time off and apologize to people and try to come back as best as I can. You know, try to come back best and refreshed and things of that nature. So y'all make sure y'all take some time off. Make sure y'all spend some time with your loved ones. Love on them, hug on them, kiss on them, push on them if you need to. And you know, if you want to, make sure you go by the graveyard and see some people who you haven't seen in a long time or who you haven't talked to in a long time. You know, that's kind of what I did this weekend. I went and saw some. I went to the graveyard, and you know, just spoke to my family members who I haven't spoken to like in years. I mean, you know, like spoken to as in I haven't went to that graveyard. I haven't went to the graveside in years or whatever. And so it was great. It was a great moment. I felt their energy and I felt their presence. So nonetheless, y'all, that's all I got for y'all on this wonderful Wednesday. I pray that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all on next week. Bye. Later. Holla. Jesus loves you guys, and so do I, and it's not a thing you can do about it. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.